G'day mate, welcome back to Factorio with me, JD. Now it looks like these oil changes are finished and final, and I don't think Woob's going to change their mind, considering some of the stuff I've read on the forums. We can continue on with our build. So, I flipped the acid part 90 degrees, so it could be basically fit in a nice straight line. At least that's the intention. And at the same time, I've also attempted to work out how we're going to get our materials in. So we're going to bring in iron at the top. It's going to have to split into acid. I was sort of working for a way, trying to work out a way I could loop the iron in and then bring it back out. It just wasn't worth the hassle. So we've gone with one dedicated, a split here with iron into here. At the same time, we're splitting and side loading down at the bottom to bring iron in for half the belt to make the extra accumulators, and then the other half of the belt is reserved for the so iron in for the accumulators. The other half of the belt is reserved for the accumulators actually coming out, which we'll collect at the end. Half our iron's been split with half our copper, so it's actually this two will be a solid belt of copper between the two of them, so it's actually going to be something closer to that. So this will be a solid belt of copper, which will get split half in the top and half in the bottom, or half into this build and half into that build to run our batteries. So we've sort of got our acid worked out, and thankfully, if I just find the Factorio calculator and bring it up on the screen so you guys can see it, none of those numbers changed with the changes that we did with oil. What did change is this. Actually turns out I actually need less refineries now. I actually have... So this has been updated. This tab itself has been updated to 1760. And if we come down here and look at our oil refineries, and this tab is prior to that update. So we can see I needed 33 refineries previously. Actually, I need 31 now. So it's technically, okay, I built 34. I'm going to need 32. So technically, I've saved 2 refineries. On the flip side, I went from 6 heavy to light cracking. I now need 13 of them, because I'm producing a lot of extra heavy oil that I actually have no need for, because I'm looking at launching rockets. So I don't need the heavy to make lubricant. And at the same time, I only needed 8.1 light to petroleum. I've gone up to, 9 up to 12. So I've saved 2 refineries, and I've added, what's that? 7 heavy to light cracking, and 3 light to petroleum cracking. So I think I lost in the long run. I might be able to tweak these numbers by using a mixture of advanced oil and basic oil to get the extra petroleum I need for this build, or in the case of this is actually the this is actually my words. This is actually just the satellite build. So in the case of this build, I might be able to just produce enough, use enough advanced oil to just give me the light oil I require to make solid fuel. And then everything else above and beyond that, in the way of petroleum, pump into a petroleum build, and then have a separate build of just light oil, basic oil processing to give me the petroleum I need to sort of try and cut down on the total entities overall. The flip side to all that is it's less efficient, so I'm going to need more pump jacks. And if I need more pump jacks, technically it's more pipes. It's not in the oil build, it's elsewhere on the map. So yeah, it's 50-50, half a dozen the other. But yeah, in saying all that, all right, we have our solar panels done. We have our accumulators done. So I've finished off these 2 parts. We've finished off radars. So really, this is the next thing I need to work on. Blue circuits, which is going to need red circuits, which is going to need green circuits, which is going to need plastic, which is going to need coal. This whole production chain here, which is going to be a little bit of a nightmare. At the same time, technically I also need green circuits into radars, which I haven't built and I haven't calculated. So that's also an issue. The other advantage I have is, in theory, I can just steal existing builds from the other side of the map. So it might be okay to get these builds done. Just because it should be a case of, okay, we need... hang on, I need to find that calculator back. So we need 2,500 blue circuits. In our original build, we were building just over 2,500. So it should be just a case of scroll over here, find our blue circuit build, run max rate calculator over the top, and say, hey you, per minute. We're not running it at full speed. So it's probably good to go as is. It also means, like, no, this is the green circuit build that feeds into that blue circuit build. These green circuits go... These green circuits go into those red circuits. So literally I can copy from here to sort of here down somewhere, including all the smelting blocks, the whole works. I can literally copy from there to down here somewhere, paste it over here, and then just remove what we don't want. Which makes things a little bit simpler. It also makes things an absolute nightmare. Actually, I need low density structures as well. Hang on. How much of this base am I just copying and blueprinting? So, we need 3.5. We only need 2.5. We need 36182. We only need 1430. That's all those things processed, so it just means the rocket fuel itself, which is a whole new type of build. Okay. Oh, blue circuits are overproduced to make these guys, which I don't actually need. So I'm pretty much at the point where I need this whole build put over here, and then literally parts of it stripped out. Which in some respects is a little bit sad. That this makes 5 rockets per minute, and to make 25 satellites, I need almost the same size. Like, it obviously doesn't need speed modules, it doesn't need rocket control units, it needs slightly less rocket fuel, it needs slightly less red circuits, slightly less low density structures. But it's very, very close. So, in saying that, if we do... So what do we got up here? We got solar panels. I've got solar panels, I've got satellites, I've got... that's actually useless. That can go away, because that's doing nothing. Oil to rocket to plastic to low density structures to red circuits. Like, I planned this out very, 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 very well to start with. And I'm honestly thinking about basically copying and pasting the exact same setup. Because obviously we need plastic right near oil. We need rocket fuel right near oil. This part doesn't exist anymore, so those two can get moved up higher, which means none of the zigzagging belts down. Which is then going to move all this up, which is... Yeah. It just comes down to the question of I need a battery build, which just needs iron and copper delivered, which I could put in... How big is that battery build? That big. Like here? And then all my outputs need to wrap around to basically these 4 assemblers. Solar panels can go above. So if I have batteries coming out here, low density structures coming out here. Actually, it's only one belt of battery, so I could wiggle it through. Low densities is, again, I want to say 1 belt. 1 belt. 1 belt. Rocket fuel. Half a belt. So, we could do our solar panels here. Not our solar panels, our radars and satellites here, and just plan everything else around it. I think that's exactly what we're going to do. So it means this whole build's in the way. Big surprise. Okay. We're going to Control X. No, we're going to Control... Whoop. Go away. We're going to Control C. We're going to copy all of our battery build in its entirety. We're going to hold down the shift bar so I actually get a blueprint. And we're going to go... actually, it's not a battery build. It's an accumulator build. So... And then I'm going to call it battery build anyway. It's fine. Alright. So that means this can be ripped up. And then I can literally start planning around... What do we try and do it reverse? If you stay where you are, we could put rockets above you. I've got oil right there. I literally want to put oil. Okay, let's do things. Let's do that part, because that part's going to be fairly important. We're going to start from our natural oil and we're going to work our way backward. I think that's the way to go. I do want robot coverage. Change you back to... Which one am I missing? 1, 2, 3... I'm missing 4. And yet I don't have large power poles on my tool belt. Large power pole... Okay, copy that. I don't care if I'm wasting a bit of range. The important thing is I have some semi-decent robot coverage. Come on. Thank you. And we put an oil build. Well, there's oil literally right there. Let's just put that right there. Yep. Okay, and then... Can I get a decent example? You're a perfect example. Put that in place, that in place. Like, this won't perfectly beacon things, but it's a really good lazy example of getting like 90% of your beacons in first time around. Yeah, there was an accidental misfire of the flamethrower. Let's not use a flamethrower. That one. That one. That one. That one. Did I get all? Nope. There's still... There's one in here somewhere. Uh-huh. There you are. And there's an oil right there. Did I miss any more? Yep. Hidden underneath the grass growth right there. I don't know why grass is growing in the middle of an oil patch, but sure. There's one hidden under a tree right there. Okay. Put in another roboport. You guys can have power so you don't complain. So, this will be the start of our oil build. Which actually means, even though I plan to just be lazy and copy and paste previous blueprints and put them down here. And yeah, it looks like we're going to be doing an oil build, whether I like it or not. Oh, I'm so not prepared for an oil build. Not with the new changes. Okay, what do I want? I want all that to go away, and all of that, and all of that. We want passive provider. I want to take all those out and throw them there with all of those and all of those. Somewhere. Oil refineries, that'll help. Do I not have pump jacks? No, that'll be on an outpost train. Outpost train, where are you? Do you have... Yes, you got 120 pump jacks. Hey, you. Come here. Okay. I'm going to pull those out, pull those out, pull those out. Pull those out too. Dump a lot of this crap into chests. No, I want to keep those actually. And I probably want to keep those as well. Okay. There's going to be some heavy duty maths involved in this episode. Alright, so in the past I had 4 rows. And I honestly think I'm probably going to still need 4 rows. Whether it's 4 rows of advanced oil or whether it's like 2 rows of advanced oil and 2 rows of basic oil, I don't know. Because right now I'm going to put in a cut and I'm going to attempt to work that magic out, because I honestly think it's going to be cheaper performance-wise to have less cracking in the long run. So I need to do all the heavy to light oil cracking because I need the light oil for the rocket fuel. But if I can avoid light to petroleum cracking, I will. And it also means that if I'm using more basic oil, it means I'm producing less heavy oil. If I'm producing less heavy oil, I don't need as much cracking again. So yeah, I'm going to put in a cut and I'm going to go do some maths and I shall be back. Okay, so after some hardcore maths, I've got some answers. So this is our original numbers. So we need 14,000 plastic, plus we need 1,250 rocket fuel. And to do that, we need 23 refineries with 24 refineries with 10 of those doing heavy to light cracking and 24 of those doing light to petroleum cracking, okay? If we split our builds, so we still have the exact same amount of rocket fuel being made. We've got the exact same amount of light oil being made, so 35, unchanged. Assemblers will stay unchanged. But of the petroleum that we're making, this amount of petroleum is producing 7,997, 8, somewhere there, plastic per minute. So if we take the original 14,000, subtract 797,998 from that, we need about 6,033 left over, which we can do with basic oil at only 7.8 refineries. Now, if we come back to here, we need 23 refineries plus another 3.6, 9.8. So we needed 23 refineries plus an extra... No, hang on, let's do this properly. So we needed an extra... we've got 9. We've got 23. 24. So we had an extra 15 refineries. And we had an extra 6 heavy to light, plus all the light to heavy cracking. Like all of that. It's all gone. Instead, we've gone from 24 down to 9, plus another 8. So we actually have less refineries overall. On top of that, as I said, the heavy cracking going from 10 of these down to just 4 of these. and removing all 23 light to petroleum cracking has actually saved us a lot of machines. We've still got 6 chem plants here with 8 chem plants here, which is the exact same amount we had beforehand. So it hasn't changed the plastic, hasn't changed the light to solid fuel to light to solid fuel to rocket fuel. Actually, it probably has slightly, because we're going to need more light oil than we did previously. Compared to pre-1760 compared to post-1760. But it does mean, just purely, now that we can just make just petroleum, we've saved a whole bunch of refineries, plus chem plants, plus piping, plus all of it. It does mean overall, so overall that's one thing we have to take into consideration. At the moment I needed 236,000 oil. We're now using 86 plus 80? Crap, are we actually using less oil? Oh, acid's in here. If I turn off acid, can I turn off acid? If I turn off batteries, I turn off blue circuits, you recalculate. Oh. Yeah, that's a big change. Okay, so if I turn that back on and I turn... Okay, so I'm back after some hardcore maths. And we're just going to go through these bit by bit. So, I need, in our original build, I need 23, we'll call it 24 refineries doing advanced oil processing. I can actually cut that down to just 9. 9 doing doing solid fuel into rocket fuel, and all the excess petroleum we're producing goes into plastic. Okay, that gives me almost 8,000 plastic. I need 14,000. So over here, we're producing the extra 6,000 plastic we need. On top of that, I also need all the sulfuric acid, 201,000 sulfuric acid per minute. The sulfuric acid, as you can see here, I've pumped in the right numbers to give me the sulfuric acid that I need at 201,000. That can go away, just to try and simplify the list. So we're now producing the right amount of sulfuric acid as well. But I need 37 refineries to do that. That is a lot of refineries, like a lot of refineries. I went from 23 originally, with another 9.8 doing heavy to light cracking. I cut that down to 8.4 and only 3.6. So that's a significant difference between this original number and you know, our just doing advance for just the light oil that we need. But after you add in the extra 37.5 refineries to just make the petroleum, because you're overall, you know, you're making 45 petroleum here compared to 55 here, plus the heavy which you can crack, plus the light that you can crack. That's a significant difference. Not on top of that, I'm looking at 236,000 petroleum oil per minute. This is only 86, so that's not too bad. This, on the other hand, is 384,000 oil. That's a lot of oil. So honestly, after all these changes have gone through, now I've actually gone and typed the numbers into a calculator and looked at it, there is no way, even at like, for a convenience sake, you might use basic oil processing to just make petroleum on site, to just do something simple, like just making a little bit of plastic or a little bit of acid. But anything more than just a little bit, you might as well go to advanced oil and save all that crude oil that you not only have to find, but dig up and transport. Like, that amount there is what? Each oil tanker only carries 25,000 per minute. Well, per load. And I've got, my tankers are, how big? 4s? Yeah, they're 4s. So I'm transporting 100,000 crude oil per shipment. And that means I'm going to get a train through unloaded and out every 15 seconds if I wanted to use this sort of build. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, even this, I'm concerned about on a per minute stake. That means I got to get a train through like every 28 seconds or something. I've already done the maths. It's going to be hard. It's going to be awkward. I'm probably going to need 2 unloading stations. This is the point where you're like, nah, just going to build 4 unloading stations. Like, it's a no-brainer. That combined with that is definitely 4 unloading stations. So, the oil changes we push through. For the end game, change nothing. Apart from you need to make extra heavy to light oil cracking. That's really all it's changed. Which means I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm actually strongly disappointed. Anyway, unfortunately, I'm probably going to end this episode here. No, look, I'll lose the calculator. Okay. We'll attempt to do some free range maths. So, I need 23 refineries. If we call it 24 divides nicely by 6. So I can do 6 refineries per row. 6 refineries per row actually makes maths sound a lot easier. 1, 2, 3, or actually just 20, 21, 26, 25, come on, 24. That becomes a refinery build. Like, heavy oil cracking is going to be a nightmare. Light oil cracking is going to be a separate nightmare. Why for you not have power? There we go. That robot port's probably slightly in the way. Yeah, we've still got robot coverage. That beacon doesn't need to exist. Those beacons do need to exist. You lot don't need to exist. So, like, that's our start. And then we need how many heavy? We need 9. So we need 10 heavy cracking. This is my heavy pipe. This is my other heavy pipe. In theory, they're load balanced. Because that's 12. That's 12. So I can just split the difference, put 5 on either side, in theory. Heavy to light is right there. Crap, which one's the heavy pipe? It's the bottom one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Does that line up? It does line up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll remove that off the end. Duplicate that. That plugs in there. How the hell do I get my light oil out? My light oil comes out here, and so does my petroleum. Okay, so if I Oh, and the pipe won't stretch any further. Okay, I don't really have a choice. I can't put it that close. So I have to put heavy oil cracking all the way over there to give me some room to get the other two pipes out. That can go away. We'll plug in that one there. So that's my heavy oil cracking, and then I'm going to need 23.1 light oil to petroleum cracking. Yeah, about that. I actually need the modules in to run max rank calculator. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 through on a per second basis. We're still fairly low in the numbers, so we've got a lot of room to move. So I can actually join the lights together. What do I need? I needed 10 of these guys, didn't I? Yeah, 10. So, hang on, maths. So I have twice that amount. No, I have one lot. I have 24 of them. Let's go with 24. So 24 is more than a pipe's load to start with. Pipes sort of start maxing out at around about 1,000 in. So I can't merge them together. Okay, so it means we're going to have to do funny business with merging all the light oil together. We're going to put you as short as possible. We're going to bring you level with that one. And therefore, you're going to have to be as short as possible. Let's come over here. I need to do... How many chem plants is that? 18. 36. I basically need that built. Except now I need to get light oil into every one of these guys as well. Okay, how much light oil would you use running flat out? Not that much. Okay, so we're going to copy this. This is going to be our rocket fuel, which we put sort of like right beside the oil build. In saying that, we still need to fit in 24 light to petroleum crackers. Yeah, that's not going to be awkward much. Okay. Oh boy. Because of how tight we are on the beacons, I can't actually get the pipe into these guys terribly easily. So my choices are as follows. Pipe in, pipe in, pipe in, pipe out, pipe in, pipe in, pipe out. And then a bit of normal pipe into there, squiggle that one sideways, into there, so on and so forth. My plan B approach is we already have a pipe interchange running up the middle. So I just vastly increase the amount of hookups in the middle. And of course you'd have a corresponding going north. I can move that down a tile. So that means for, what are we doing? We're doing 2 rocket fuel, 1 chem plant. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Compared to 1, 2, you'd only half count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is 5. 8 and 5 is 12. 12 to 12. So there's no real difference. Except this I can add pumps to, the other one I can't. Okay. So we're going to do this style of hookup for... Hang on. Why don't you line up? I'm now worried it's not going to work at all. There to there. Hang on. Ugh. Okay. Did it again. Okay, so that's going to be a pipe hookup, which means we can do one on the bottom, one on the top. Rocket fuel would need 2 rows, this being the bottom row, the other one being the top row. It still means that we need to put in 24 light to petroleum, which is your 9. 8. 8's a better number. 8, I need 4 lots of this amount, which is 7, 14, 2.8k, which is more than what machines can do. A lot more. I'm trying to avoid this sort of manifold mess. Like obviously I brought my light in, I brought it into this tank, which is not controlled with a pump, funnily enough. I brought my cracking out, which is going in with a pump. Like, I've done a lot to force the liquids to move pump to pump to pump, just because the sheer amount of throughput I had. And I'm trying to avoid that the second time round. I'm trying to avoid having these large pump manifolds. But I just don't see a way of doing it. I'm going to have to put in a pump there somewhere. Okay, so we're going to have to put in... Where's a pump? There's a pump. I'm going to put in a pump there, because a pump is probably better than one pipe. Technically, you probably need a pump on your output as well to force feed the tank. What did I say these builds were? I think they're low enough I can join 2 of them together without too much trouble. No, not that many. 6 of them. 6 of them. 6. Yeah, I could join 2 together without too much trouble. Okay. Pump in there, pump in there, underground. Oh really, you're out by tile? Oh, you suck. So at this point, I've got all my light oil together. I'll actually remove you and put you... That doesn't work. So you're going to have to face that way. And I'll have to bridge you down like that. Now I'm at the point where I have a ridiculous amount of light oil through to this point. The very first thing I need to do is make solid fuel with it. Which means this is in the way. if I put airway pipe to ground, if I put that in there, cut that build, put it there instead, with the solid pipe there at the corner. So it's heavy out of the way, which is also making light, which both of these need to tap in. That's lucky that fits. You, on the other hand, are not going to be able to hook up to anything terribly. I take that back. So if I put you into there, which now means all that's wrong. We do a tank that way, and a tank that way. So, run this by me again, JD. Okay. So, light oil goes into there, gets picked up with this heavy, goes into here, gets more light added to it. That's unfortunately 3 tiles long. We're going to add a pump instead. Gets pumped into here, gets pumped into here, gets pumped into here. At this point, we have all the light in the world. Our heavy comes out of this build, goes straight into this cracking. Our second lot of heavy comes into this tank, turned 90 degrees and flown up into here. Can I move you guys up a couple of tiles? If I did, it'd have no benefit because I can't hit that tile for input. So you're going to have to stay where you are. Can I move you up a tile? Singular tile. 1 tile. No, I can move you up 2 tiles, which doesn't help line anything up. No. No, it probably actually makes things worse. Okay, so at this point we have all our light in one spot. I haven't even started dealing with petroleum, and I'm already getting a headache. So, this is where I'm going to leave this episode, definitely for now. We've sort of made part of progress. I wouldn't say it's all the progress, because we're 2 fluids in. I will get our rocket fuel put down, at least blueprinted out. So we'll do some copying and some pasting and that sort of stuff between episodes. And then, yeah, we're going to have to start playing with petroleum, with the petroleum. So once the light oil's done, it's just the petroleum, which should be fairly easy. It means we should be able to go back to our original builds and do lots of copying and pasting. Anyway, I'm out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed watching me slowly go crazy, worrying about fluids at a Megabase scale. I gotta say, I didn't like the changes. I thought maybe it had some merit, being that we could just produce just petroleum. Now actually I've run through the calculator. I'm less impressed. To be honest, I'm really, really, really less impressed with anything. The only thing we have got slight benefit on is we're making extra heavy oil. And in fact, it still really, really gets me that we're putting in 150 liquid, and like, it's a long time problem, but we're putting in 150 liquid and we're only getting back 125. You know, I'm pretty sure there's some physics laws out there about like destroying matter and all the rest of it. You know, just saying. Anyway, I'm out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. All right, bye.